My name is Bisha. I'm a yoga teacher in Karachi and also a studio owner. I'd like to thank Women's Retreat Circle for having me here today. I want to talk to you a little bit about yoga before we begin. So if you are unfamiliar with the practice, yoga, especially during this time, is extremely vital to help us sort of boost our immune systems and get some movement into our bodies, as well as reduce the amount of stress that might be adding to a weakened system inside. So today we'll kind of look into the movement part of it. We'll also look into a bit of breath work. Hopefully by the time you finish your practice, you're going to be quite refreshed. All you'll really need is a rolled up blanket or a cushion for your practice. Okay, we're going to go ahead and begin. Thank you so much, Uzma. Thank you. All right, wonderful. So go ahead and sit comfortably on your mat. I'm going to go ahead to my mat. And I just want you to know that if you are newer to yoga, this practice is completely, it's a basic practice, but it's a movement practice. You won't find that it's going to be hard or difficult to do the postures, and I will be keeping room open for any variations. So take your pillow, your cushion, or your rolled up blanket and just stick it underneath you for now. Okay. Come into a comfortable cross-legged pose. If you feel like this is uncomfortable in any way, you can come into a full cross-legged. And you can also take extra cushions just underneath your thighs. All right, just to sort of start or get into the way or the stuff that we're about to do, bring your arms by the sides, let your hands drop down heavy. We'll start off by taking some really nice deep breaths and really big exhale. So a nice long inhale. Good. Try to see if you can fill up all the space inside. And then a nice big exhale. As and when you're ready, slowly with your eyes open. We're going to go ahead and lie down on our backs. You can also place your cushion or your folded blanket underneath your low back, but that's just an option. I'm just going to go ahead without it, and I'm going to slowly support my weight to the floor, resting my head against the ground, resting my arms by the side of the body. Now, as you can see, my knees are bent over my ankles, and all I'm going to do is really just rock my legs a little bit side to side. I've kept my feet about hip width distance. I'd like for you to do the same, and I've kept my knees hip width distance too. Very neatly create some space between your knees. And just like we were slightly swinging the legs side to side before, I want you to slowly take the legs to the left and right. Almost like windshield wipers of a car. And then maybe drop the legs over to the right side. Let them rest down on a cushion. You can place your blanket underneath. I'm going to hang out here. Slowly lift the right knee up. Maybe take a few rounds of the windshield wipers, left and right. Just feeling that sense of easing into the low back. Please bring your blanket towards the outer left side of the room, or your cushion, and then let the legs lower to the left side. If this is too strong for your right leg, you can always lift the right knee up. Take a stretch out through your arms, reaching overhead. Maybe interlace your fingers overhead. Just stretch out through the torso. And then straighten the legs out in front of you. Give your toes a little point, a little push from the heel. And gently roll off to any one side, so left or right side. And we're going to slowly come up to a cross-legged seat. So push into the floor. Gradually lift yourself up. And then again, try to find a seat on something soft, and higher, elevated. So the blanket or the cushion itself. Good. I want you to take a moment just to rock left and right. You might notice there's a bit more space in the low back and the top of your pelvis. I want you to walk your right hand out to the side of the room. Okay, come up onto your fingertips and notice there's a slight leaning action against the hand. Reach your left arm up. Good. Turn your palm to face the right side of the room. Then all you're going to do is bend the elbow and rest the arm against your head, as we did before. And as you exhale, come up to a seat and then just very lightly press your fingers into your ribs, like you're massaging the skin out. Inhale to the side, go as far as you want to go. Exhale as you come up, the body cinches towards the fingers and the fingers press in. You can use your fingertips to kind of move around and massage that space. If it's too strong or too icky, you can also just move back and forth like this. Good. Brilliant. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Take your left arm up towards the sky. As you exhale, turn towards the right leg. Place the hand towards the right side or the outer right thigh, and then turn the chest towards the right leg itself. So we try to open that space using the fingers and movement, and I'm just going to hold here in the twist. Take 4 breaths for me, please. Nice and long, nice and smooth. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Come back, center. Pause for a moment, simply noticing the right side is a little bit longer than your left side, so we'll start to create some space over here. Left hand to the side of the room. Right arm reaches up. Take a deep inhale so you can feel the entire side torso lengthen. And then drop the arm over the head and just rest the arm against the head. Simple breaths here will help to expand, start the initial expansion of the ribs and all the sticky tissue in between. Bring a hand down to the ribs if you're ready to do this. You can inhale, keep walking the fingers over, and on the exhale, come back up, sit tall so that the fingers kind of press into your ribs and you can use them to dig around. Again, just massaging out space between the rib cage. Inhale, and exhale. 3 more times. You can also just stay here without digging your fingers in. You can also revert to the original hand over head. Inhale, reach your right arm up. As you exhale, turn to face your left thigh, bring the hand towards the outer thigh, and then you can use your left hand just as a little tripod behind you, a leg of a tripod, so some support. Make sure you're still seated upright. Make sure you're sitting on something higher than the ground. I'm going to do this one more time, this time reaching both your arms all the way up. Nice big drawn out breath. Exhale over towards the side of the room. Remove your prop out from underneath. I'm going to keep my blanket on my mat because it's really good for my knees. I have a very hard floor here. All right, and I'm going to bring my knees onto the blanket and my hands just in front of my shoulders. So that there's a very, very mild diagonal line from the shoulders to my wrists. And if you've ever done some yoga before, you definitely know cat-cow pose. So I want you to slowly arch the spine in a very gentle way. The belly drops forward, the tailbone starts to lift up, and the chest moves forward. I'm going to shift left and right a little bit in this arch shape so that my wrists get a little bit warm. Take one more breath as you push into your hands so that the chest rises. And as you exhale, curve the body so you're really rounding through the spine, rounding through the skin of your torso, pressing the hands down. Inhale, come back into the arch. Exhale, slowly curve and drop the head through. You can also come down to the forearms if the wrists feel a lot. And the more movement you bring into your connective tissue, the more they start to open up and start to soften, which really helps the muscles do the same because the percentage of the muscles are wrapped up in this connective tissue. Amazing. You're going to come back up onto your hands if you're not already there. You're going to take your right leg and just step forward outside your right hand. At this point, I'm going to bring my left knee further back, take it further back, so I have a long stance. But by all means, you can be a little bit more forward. It's up to you. Of course, the cushion under the knee really helps. Take your right foot and just turn it out so it faces at a diagonal towards the corner of the room. And I'm going to reach my right arm up, take an inhale. I'm going to try to go as far back as I'm comfortably able to, as if I'm trying to catch something. As if you've thrown something at me and I'm catching it with my hand. And as I exhale, I'm going to bring my hand down, maybe tap my thumbs together. Inhale, slowly. Exhale, bring it back around. Remember, you can take as long as the stance as you want. You notice my back foot is turned under to help me just sort of anchor to the floor. Good. On the 5th one, I want you to stay in the twist, reaching the right arm up. This time, align your right arm with the shoulder, so it's not behind, but it's actually up. Take 5 breaths in for me, please, and 5 breaths out. Think about creating the support in the breath. Remember, we spoke about that at the start. If the shoulder is starting to feel a little bit tired underneath you, you can always bring your left arm on the thigh and stay, excuse me, upright. Just breathe here for a moment or two. Take your right hand onto your waist. Good. And just take a deep, deep breath into your fingers. Deep sigh out. Deep breath in. Deep sigh out. Beautiful. Bring your right hand down to the floor. Step the knee back. Take a moment to pause by sitting on your heels or sitting hips to floor. All right. Again, you can take the option of just rolling up a blanket or pillow and sitting up a little bit higher. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to prop this underneath me. And just to get some of that tension to move out from the shoulders and the top of the arm. You can also visualize and think of this like as your connectors to the body, so from the brain towards the body. Just want to be there for it. So take your fingers, please. Tilt your head over to the left shoulder and just smoothly move the skin from your jawline or your ear downwards. You can use multiple fingers, you can use single finger. Now shifting over to the opposite side, tilt the head over to the right side. Just again, take a moment Just a massage out. It doesn't have to be strong. It can be very gentle, very soothing movements. Just easing into the neck. Please come back center. Bring the soles of the feet together. This might not be suitable for everyone, but everyone can do it. If this feels too strong for you, you want to take 2 pillows from your bed and just tuck them underneath your thighs. I have 2 yoga blocks here, so here's what I can show you as an example. So you have rest. You're not pushing and forcing. Bring your hands to your feet and very gently start to fold forward towards the legs. Helping us to stretch out through the kidney lines of the body. Butterfly pose is also a great way for us to open up some of the internal, the external rotation of our thigh. So just finding that easily rather than pushing too hard into it. Some of you may want to drop your elbows to the ground. Some of you might naturally be able to move forward. But the idea here isn't as how deep can we go. It's how good can I feel. That's the aim, that's the purpose. Beautiful. Let's come back up. Alright, we'll take this into a twist. So we'll move slowly and you can decide how much you'd like to move into it. I'm going to move forward one more time. And I'm going to take my left hand, walk it out forward. Okay? So again, it can look something upright like this. It can be completely upright. You're going to take your other hand and just walk it towards the side of the room. Some of you will be able to go around the leg. Some of you will be able to use your fingertips to help you rotate towards the right side. So you'll feel this around the lower shoulder blade, just in the back of the left side. Slowly walk yourself forward. I'm just going to switch directly from here. So right hand down, left arm goes to the side, or maybe around the leg, and I can use my fingertips to help me create a little rotation in my chest. Next center. Let's roll all the way up. Remove the props out from underneath and lie back down. So fold the knees. I will always, when lying back down, use my forearms to support me so that it doesn't take load in my back body, my spine. And I'm going to have my right knee into my chest, and I'm going to take my fingers and just interlace them behind my leg. Then fully let the weight of your leg drop into your hands, even if the knee is slightly bent, okay? Let's start off there. Left knee can stay bent like this. Then I'm just going to point and flex the toe. So, point the toe, push the heel away, and you'll notice just all the way down the leg you can feel, especially this movement. Good. Maybe a few circles with the ankles. Not a point, not a push. Pull it in. And release. And please lower the foot down. Bring your feet about hip width distance. Stack your knees over the ankles, but this is not for everyone. You can always walk the feet out forward as well. I'm going to take my folded blanket. You can take your pillow. I'm going to lift my hips, and I'm just going to slide this underneath. So right now, I have a little bit of an arch across my back, like a back bend. All right. From here, I'm going to start straightening my legs out so that I can start stretching into the front of my body. Now, some of you might want to go further. You can take a thicker cushion so that you're in a much higher bend. You can also double up your blanket. Hands on body really help me feel the breath a lot more. So you can try that as well. As you exhale, exhale for 5 counts. Inhale for 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Exhale for 5. One more time, just lift your hips up, swing them to the right, and drop them back. Then I'm going to drop my legs over to the left. And the reason we do the swing is to help us clear a little bit more space around the sacrum, which is right above the tailbone. You will have your right shoulder off the mat. That's okay. I have my little pillow or my blanket here to help support the bottom of the shoulder. You can do the same. Move very gently out of this so that it doesn't take too much weight, too much stress in your back. So recenter first. Then very gradually take your hips over to the left and drop your legs over to the right. And my arms are by my side, and I'm going to use my blanket just to support my left shoulder. So I'm going to tuck it underneath the shoulder. This really is us finalizing the last bit of practice. So you can move. And deep breath out. Please draw your knees into your chest. One more time, just rocking on your back, left and right, before we come up to a comfortable seat. Roll off to your right side, slowly press the floor away. And I want you to sit on something, relax your knees, relax your hips, relax your thighs. So rest your hands down. Make your little tongue roll, your little burrito roll in your tongue, or purse your lips. And I'm going to increase it. So as you inhale now, we're going to think about that 3-second count. Inhale for 3, 2, 1. We're going to exhale for 5. Inhale. Exhale.
maybe resting your jaw if it's starting to get a little bit warm. Really notice the internal coolness through the breath. And so when you're ready, relax the jaw, relax the mouth, relax your eyes. Shift your gaze forward. I'd like to thank you so much.